Hi, my name is Bintu and today we will understand the difference between pass by value and pass by reference. From the name only it is clear that this is the difference between how the arguments are passed to the function. In pass by value what happens? You are sending the copy of the arguments to the function. So whatever the changes are applied in the function, when the control comes back to the main function, the changes are lost. But what happens in pass by reference? Basically, you are sending the addresses of the arguments. So the parameters will point to the same variables of the main function only. And whatever the changes are made to the variables in the function are basically applied to the actual variables only, actual arguments. So when the control comes back to the main function, those changes which were done in the function can be seen in the main function also. Let us understand it through the program and with the figures, right? So what I am doing here, I have defined 4 variables A, B, C and D. So when you define an integer, what happens? 2 bytes are assigned to an integer, right? So 2 bytes are assigned and that are assigned to this variable A. 2 bytes are assigned for B. Again 2 bytes are assigned for C as well as for D also. So let us assume that this is the address of A, 1000. In reality, it is in hexadecimal format. It is the address of the RAM, random access memory, right? Of the primary memory. But for simplicity, we are assuming that it is 1000, right? And this is the content of A. So to this address A you get 10. To this address B you have 20 assigned. Before function call you get the output as A is 10 and B is 20, right? You are calling PRN function and you are taking these two variables A and B. This is passed by value. See, this is PRN function. These are the parameters M and N. The value of A will be copied onto M and the value of B will be copied onto this parameter N. See, let us try to understand. This A and B are actual arguments and this M and N are formal parameters, right? So separate memory will be assigned for these two parameters. See, this is memory for parameter M. This is the memory for parameter N. We are just assuming this is the address for M, this is the address of N. So the value of A, 10 will be assigned to this address M. So 10 is assigned to this location and 20 is assigned to this address N, right? What you are doing here, you are changing the content of M and N. See, you are changing the content of M and N. But are those changes will be applied to the variables A and B? No. This is passed by value. The A and B were not sent, only their copy was sent to this M and N. M and N was separately allocated memory, right? So whatever the changes are applied to the addresses of M and N, not to the addresses of A and B. This function is over. So the control will go back to the main function. It will go back to the statement after the function call. So you get the output. After function call, A is 10, B is 20. Same values which were before the function calls. Here what we are doing? See, this is the address of C, 3000. The address of D is assumed to be 4000. You are assigning 30 and 40 to those addresses. Before function call, C is 30, D is 40, right? So this is the output you get. You are calling CHNG function. This is CHNG function. You are passing the address of C. I assume that you've seen my lecture of how the pointers are handled in C. If you haven't seen that video, I am providing you the link. Please view that video. After watching that video, you will find it very easy to understand this program. So this is the address of C which is assigned to the pointer. Asterisk means it's a pointer and pointer always points to an address. So P is pointing to the address of C. Q is again a pointer. It is pointing to the address of D. So P and Q are pointing to the addresses of C and D respectively. Can you see that? P is also pointing to this location, D is also pointing here. Now, to the content of the memory address where P is pointing, you are changing, you are making it 100. P is pointing to this 300, right? You are changing its content, you are making it 100. So, are those changes will be applied to C? Definitely, because C and P are pointing to the same location. To the content of the memory location pointed to by key, you multiply by 2 and you store that output into the content where Q is pointing. Q is pointing to this location. You are multiplying its content by 2 and storing into the same location. Storing into the same memory address, right? So it will become 80. So those changes are actually applied to the argument D, right? Here the function is over. You go back to the main function. Here to this line. After function call, you get the C as 100 and the value of D as 80. Because when you pass by reference, whatever the changes are done in the function are applied to the actual arguments, okay? So when the control comes back to the main function, that impact of function can be seen in the main function also. Let's run this program. I am using Kigwin software tool for running my C programs. Kigwin provides you a Unix environment in Windows because Unix is written in C. So you can even run your C programs here. See, this is the program that we discussed. Let's compile it. I am using GCC compiler for compiling my programs. See, no error, only warning, and that is also related to the function prototypes only, doesn't matter. Let's run this. See, before function call the values of A and B are same. See, before function call the values of A, after function call the values of A and B are still same. See, before and after function call. But here what you see, before function call the values of C and D are this one, and after function call they are changed. Because in pass by reference you are sending the variables themselves through pointers, right? So this program is working perfectly well. If you find any problem, you can mail me at bmharwani@yahoo.com. And for the code of this program, you can see the link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.